Hey everybody, it's Lex. Today I wanted to talk about right hand finger plucking patterns. Just a few I want to go through. Some of you may know these as the TIMI exercises, and I will explain that here in just a second. First off, with the right hand, we want to make sure, even when we're picking normally, that we want our hand as close as we can and our arm to the guitar. The longer you have it out, the more problems you'll run into with the gears of your system here being too far out and movable to where it's not as secure of a system. All that to say, keep your arm close. You want to be able to palm mute the guitar and mute in general, which is using this part of your hand to mute the strings or create a deeper, thicker sound. I'm doing that by resting my hand there on the strings at an appropriate place. This isn't about that, but it's really useful in the future, so keep that in mind. But with that being said, we want to be all close to the guitar, and so if you ever find yourself having pinchers that look like this and they're far away and your arm's all C-shaped out of the guitar, you're going to run into a few troubles with not getting enough grip out of the strings to get the sound you want, and also the control will be unstable at most. And so if you stay close in, you want to have your thumb parallel with the strings, and that way you're going to hit it on the side here, on the left side of your thumb, and then your fingers you want to curl in to where it's kind of like this gripping motion like that. Got it in there, right? And so as long as you don't go underneath the strings, you'll be okay. You want to be more on the side or on top of them, almost kind of like a bow and arrow sort of action. If you pull it really hard this way, whenever you let go of the string, it's going to have a altered effect on how it lets go. But if you hold it from the sides, it's going to go really smooth. So the whole point is that we want this to be smooth. So do not go underneath the string. Be on the side or on the top, because that's going to give it the best release. If you're underneath, you're going to get some nasty sound, and it'll also hinder your speed. So it's all about being on top. So if you ever find yourself here, just go ahead and flatten out your thumb and then keep the index and middle in the same place. For these exercises, I want to keep the index and middle finger on the second and third string. I like the sound, and also it's a good place to start out. And also we can involve the strings around it later. You want your thumb on the bass note of whatever chord. So if you're playing a G chord and you're involving all 6 strings, you want your thumb on the biggest string, the bass note that you're playing in the chord, and then we've got the other 2 where we just mentioned. Now, the reason why these are called TIMI exercises, if anything, is because usually I'll write out something like this, where I've got thumb and index and middle and index, or some combination of that, which firstly spells out TIMI. That's usually the first one we go over. And I can get you a graph like this. You can pause the video here and check these out if you want. If not, I'll send you a combination. It's really up to you to be versatile enough to do any of the combinations of thumb, index, or middle. At least that's where we start. We want to be able to use all fingers later on, but those are the main ones that I use. So if you think of TIMI, T-I-M-I, we have thumb, index, and then middle, and then index. So once again, thumb, index, middle, index. And that creates a pattern that flows pretty well. That's just off one chord. I think it has a great quality to it. There's other TIMI exercises like T-I-M-T, thumb, index, middle, thumb. Right? And then there's also compound versions where you do 2 fingers at the same time, whether it be index and middle at the same time, or thumb and index, or thumb and middle. This one in particular, we've got thumb and then what I call the claw, the index and middle. Has a nice little bounce to it. That's my favorite one, along with the thumb, index, and thumb and middle together, and then index. So TIMI, but with the thumb on the middle. That's really cool because when you speed it up, you can hear the bass line kind of thumping all by itself, and then you've got the other fingers playing along. Pretty neat sound. These are pretty difficult starting out just because it's weird to get used to the whole thing. Once you get your grip secure and also you get used to it, it'll just flow naturally. Don't spend too much time on these at once. Kind of just pad them along day by day, and one day it'll click for you.